Mitt Romney, speaking to the NAACP in Texas today, never mentioned the new voter ID law, which the Justice Department is fighting to eliminate. But speaking to the very same group on Tuesday, Attorney General Eric Holder made it crystal clear where he stands.
Listen to this. Under the proposed law, concealed handgun licenses would be acceptable forms of photo ID. But student IDs would not. And some would struggle to pay for the documents they might need to obtain them. We call those poll taxes.
Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson is a Democrat from Texas. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Lawmakers in Texas must know that up to 25% of African Americans in this country do not have access to a valid form of ID. And given that their investigations into voter fraud has produced virtually no evidence whatsoever, is this law simply designed to disenfranchise black and other minorities?
Well, indeed it is. We all recognize that. It's astonishing that there can be stories to deny it. We all know, if you have lived in America as long as I have or less, you know that if your skin is black or brown or you have a Spanish surname, the conservatives would rather you not vote. And it's coming up this year when we have President Obama up for re-election. And when you look at how he got elected, and he was truly elected, not selected the way the previous president was, you can tell that young people voted heavier than ever before. So they're going after the college-age kids to make sure that they cannot use college ID with a picture and making it difficult for them to even vote. And the seniors, people 45 to 85, vote heavily and voted heavily. They're going after them. And for us to try to act as if we don't recognize this shows that we don't know what's going on. The interesting thing is that they do not expect us to acknowledge and recognize most of us have been through this before.
Yes.
We've known about Jim Crow in this country.
Mitt Romney never mentioned voter suppression, voter ID, or even the myth of voter fraud today. Could it be that he agrees with the Republican state representative from Pennsylvania who said this? Listen to this, ma'am.
Voter ID, which is going to allow Governor Romney to win the state of Pennsylvania. Done.
That is an outrageous admission and disgraceful, and yet it would appear Mr. Romney rather likes that, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, it's an honest assessment. It is very clear why they're doing this now. They do not want President Obama to win re-election. And it's so ironic that this has been a civil rights fight all of my existence in this country. And yet, today, the 21st century, we're still fighting poll tax. They either give it to us by charging us to vote or passing some kind of an unconscionable test, or now they're putting it out that you've got to have a very strictly identifiable voter ID. You can have a driver's license, but if you're on a college campus where that address is not there, it is not valid. And so they're trying to make sure that young people and minorities do not vote. And it's just as simple as that. For it to be any other explanation is taking all of the rest of us who are affected by this as fools.
Yes. Now, I want to play for you what Mitt Romney said on Where Else But Fox News just a short time ago in response to his being booed at his mention of wanting to end the Affordable Care Act. He was speaking before the NAACP. Take a listen.
I think we expected that, of course. But, you know, I'm going to give the same message to the NAACP that I give across the country, which is that Obamacare is killing jobs.
The implication of that answer, if I may suggest it to you, ma'am, is that he went to the NAACP in order to provoke that kind of reaction. He knew it was coming. That's what he just said.
You know, the interesting thing is Romney does not even know who he is. He changes with every audience. And it's so interesting that he would try to be bold enough to present this as a sound idea. When he was governor, he was one of the few states that brought up and made sure that a law of this sort was passed. Now it's the worst thing that ever happened. Well, let me tell you, you can talk about it killing jobs. I don't believe it for any type of chance. It also keeps from killing people.
Yes.
People can survive with health care, and everybody born needs health care.
Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson from Texas, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.